Hi guys, Alex Bueno here, and gonna review Sharknado 2, the second one. Uh, so pretty much, I thought the first one was an entertaining, stupid, bad film. But this one, this one was just insane in a good way, an entertaining way, should I say? Uh, but yeah, this one, they threw like everything they could at this movie. They even they even they took it even less serious than the last film. And you got a few characters that returned. You got Finn, Tara Reid. Is that it? Oh shit. I'm trying to remember. I think those are the only ones that in the first one. Yeah, those are the only. Oh, and the sharks as well. But yeah, the only ones that came back from the first one that survived. Their kids. Tara Reid and Finn's kids didn't come back, and I guess Nova didn't want to come back either. I guess she didn't want to eat. She didn't want to be eaten by a shark again. Uh, but pretty much, I mean, the movie start. I guess it's a year, 1 year after the events of the first. Uh, but you know, uh, Terry, she's written a book about the experiences of the Sharknado. But everybody loves Finn because he was pretty much the hero of the movie, of the events of the first one. And they're in the airplane trip to New York. They're gonna head to New York and meet some family and former and friends they hadn't seen in a long time. And they're in the airplane, and you have a cameo, one of the many cameos in this movie. You got a cameo from Kelly Osbourne, and she's just a flight attendant. She's like, she tells Finn like, "Can I have your autograph? I'm a big fan of yours." And then he's like, "Oh well, he pointing to Tara Reid. She actually wrote the book." And she's like, "Oh, okay." It says in the fucking book written by. Uh, anyway, and then he's looking at the window, and he thinks he sees a shark, and that's there's a lot of homages to this in this movie. It's a homage to Twilight Zone. Uh, there's something in the wing of the plane. I always remember the shot John Lithgow uh, in the movie Twilight Zone, the movie, uh, that story, and he's kind of freaking out. You got a cameo by Robert Hayes, who played the main character in Airplane. He's the pilot, and they mentioned chicken and fish. Uh, and Sharknado appears, and you get some gore. Mostly CGI in this movie. There's a few practical effects, a few, just barely, but most of the gore is CGI, which fine. It's a Sci-Fi Channel movie, whatever. Um, uh, Finn, he lands the plane, and Finn in this movie is like as like a superhero, cause he's cutting sharks everywhere. He's like, I'll get into that a little bit. I don't want to spoil it too much of the movie. I'll just give a little bit of spoilers. But he lands a plane. They're safe. A few people die uh, in the airplane, and and then they meet up with uh, you know Finn. His sister is married to Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray, and they used to be friends when they were like in high school. And that's where you get another homage to Batman and Robin. Like Finn was Batman and Mark McGrath was Robin. And then they also meet up with they're at the Mets game, Mark McGrath and his son, and his friend, and Vivica A. Fox, and she kind of had a thing with Finn when they were in high school. But they never got together, I guess. And in the Sharknado, uh, heads to New York, and shit goes crazy, people. I mean, there's actually, unlike the first movie where it was mostly a hurricane and you see a Sharknado at the end of the first one, this one you see a Sharknado like throughout the whole film. So it does live up to its title. Uh, And shit goes crazy. People getting eaten. You get cameos all over the place. Andy Dick as a cop. Uh, they go to Finn, Vivica Fox, and Mark McGrath. They go to the subway train station, and then that's where you see Jared Subway eating the sub sandwich. If it were me, I would be eating a hero sandwich. But anyway, inside joke. Anyway, and then you also see a cameo from Perez Hilton, the gossip whore. That they go to Finn goes to a pizza place, and he sees and you get the cameo from I forget his name, but he's the guy who's saying, "You got what I need." That dude. I'm sorry, I forget his name, but he's the guy who works there. Uh, you got a cameo from Kurt Angle as one of the cops. Or at the very end, which he's the only one that's disappointed in the cameos because he really doesn't do much. But I was hoping he would do like a angle slam on one of the sharks or a fit, ankle. No, it wouldn't be an ankle lock, but I guess fin lock or whatever. It would have been funny. Too bad they didn't take advantage of that. But yeah, and and one of the really funny cameos almost forgot to mention was Judd Hirsch. I'm sorry, I'm butchering his name. Hirsch. He was one of the main characters in that the show Taxi, and he's the taxi driver in the movie. He has some funny moments. Like I said, Finn, he's just a superhero. He's just like he's getting a chainsaw, just like cutting the sharks off. There's even a really funny moment where they do the whole thing where how in the first movie he went inside the shark and then he cut through the shark and he saved Nova at the end of the first movie. In this one, he's just like he has the chainsaw. The shark's coming right at him. He just goes inside the shark and just fucking bursts out from the backside of the shark with the chainsaw. And there's even a fucking moment where he's riding the shark. Oh man. There's even a Jumpy the Shark joke in this movie. By Mark McGrath says it. Oh man. It's just crazy. It's crazier than the first movie. It's crazy, stupid, bad, awful, entertaining film. That's what it is. That's what it was meant to be. And I had fun watching it. The last thing I want to say about one of the funny moments in this movie. There's a really funny one where you see the head of the Statue of Liberty. It's just rolling around through the streets like a bowling ball. Oh man. Yeah, I hope they do more of these movies. Since the first one took place in Los Angeles, and this one, the second one, took place in New York. Maybe the third one's gonna take place in Chicago. So look out, Ryder, and shout out to you, Ryder, because Ryder, who is one of the people who I do the Roundtable show, which I will leave a link to. He's a huge fan of these movies. He likes them a lot more than I do, but I still enjoy them. And he was, this is his favorite. I'm pretty sure this is his favorite film of the year. For me, it's up there. It's top 10, I guess, of the year so far. But yeah, it's an entertaining film. If you like the first one, and you haven't seen this one, definitely watch it. You'll enjoy it. So those are my thoughts, and hopefully I didn't spoil too much if you haven't seen it. But it's a fun, stupid film. those are my thoughts, and hopefully there's a Sharknado 3 in Chicago. Maybe me and Zyrider will help Finn out. We'll make cameos. But that's yeah, that's it. Adios.